Can't you tell? You will be my haunted friends, or you will go to hell. Hi, my name is Annabelle, and welcome to my tea party. Boo. Spooky?
Hello everybody, welcome to today's streaming of Era Genesis vs Royalty Esports. This is going to be the best of one, as we are nearing the end of the season. By season I mean group stages, and a lot of the time teams are rushing to get their matches done, and I think the best thing we can do is do the best of ones. I think this is also very advantageous for Genesis, as they can play a particular strategy that could outplay Royalty, but at the same time Royalty can very much benefit from this if they just ban out the key champions which Genesis very much rely on. So what we are going to do quickly is we are just going to take a look at the first roster here. So the first roster being Era Genesis here. This is courtesy of the picture is courtesy of our lovely Chris here. He decided that this is the picture he wanted. This is what he wanted everyone to see. So it's all Chris's idea. He wanted to be the jungle Chris, so he is the jungle Chris. And then we are going to take a look at the Royalty roster as well, but just taking a look at the boys. We got Era Single Tracks in the top lane. We got Floppy Pancake in the jungle. We have got Nick Zora in the mid lane, and we got Dracarys in the bot lane. Despite him in the bush, it's Chris on bush. It's Dracarys on bush. And it was at see, this is the only photo I have of anyone on this team. I actually technically have a photo of Pancake and Nick Zora, but I just don't think it would be very feasible for me to use said photo. And then we have Pendragon in the support role, but I don't know if Pendragon is playing. The subs are kind of switching out. Could Floppy confirm this? Is Pendragon playing, or are we going to be getting Cass in the bot lane? Alright, while we wait for that, let's go hop over and take a look at roster 2 here. So roster 2, we got RYL Wabajaki in the top lane, I believe. We got Gareth Run Muller in the jungle. We got RYL Peanut in the mid lane. We got Vanzor in the bot lane, and Darkside in support. We're gonna try and grab a hold of these OP.GGs, but I don't know if we have access to RYL Wabajaki, so I'll search up RYL Wabajaki real quick. Okay, we search. Alright, is RYL Wabajaki... Okay, well, RYL Wabajaki, not Waba... Oh gosh, I spelt it wrong. Spelling is not the greatest. Alright, as we've got some of the OP.GGs started, so now let's hop over to that. So we're going to take a look at Royalties, OP.GGs right now. We got RYL Vanzor. He has been really playing the Sejuani quite a bit in 2022. In 2023, not much to look at, unfortunately. Doesn't appear to play too much ranked. But let's just take a quick gander at his solos, if he has been playing anything. Sejuani, Lucian, Syndra. Just hasn't been playing much League of Legends, unfortunately, except for competitive play. Hey, Nick Wolf, welcome. Genesis wins these. Yeah, I'm backing Genesis in this one. 100% I'm backing Genesis in this game. RYL Peanut, I believe he's a mid laner, so we are not going to see his Kayn, unfortunately. Something he's very profound on, very dangerous on this Kayn, as he's peaked Diamond with it 2 seasons in a row with it. And then, yeah, so he's going to be likely playing in the mid lane, unsure what he's going to pull out. We've got Gareth Run Miller in the jungle right now with his Vi with Karthus. These are the kinds of junglers he's going to pick up. He's going to pick up the hard engage or the hard carry junglers. So just a matter of what kind of playstyle he's aiming for. And then we got Robot Girl. I'm under the impression she is the sub for this team. Has peaked Platinum 2022. Plays the Vex, plays the Nami. Last season played a lot of Nami, played a lot of the Malzahar and the Ashe. So he's a very flexible support, and flexible player to say the least. So could fit in quite nicely into Royalty's team comp. We have Darkside in the support role. Diamond 1, 29 LP. Likes the Nami, likes the Lulu, and likes this Norlis here. These are some of his favorite champions this season. 99 games on this Nami, 47% win rate. Not as high as he would have wanted it, but at the same time, it's something he is very, very profound on. And then we got Arwale Wabajaki in the top lane. Ex-ASF member has now been moving up in the world to royalty and has been spamming the Jax, been spamming the Aatrox, but has not had much luck on the Aatrox, and not too much on the Jax either, but actually quite a lot of luck and success on the Scion and the Mordekaiser. So very likely we could see that. We could even see a Sejuani top lane, as that is what he has been picking up. Hopefully we get to see something spicy coming out from him. Now we take a look at Era Genesis right now. So we take a look at Era single tracks in the top lane. Likes the Camille, the Fiora, and the Gangplank. But he is a Darius main at heart, so you do not want to let that Darius through. Platinum 4, 23 LP. Looking good, looking smurf, looking hella fire. And I think putting him on one of these hyper carries is what Genesis are aiming to do. And then Frobby Pancake right now, peaking gold 1, 20 LP. I do believe he is platinum in Flex Q right now. But it's been surviving the Lilia, 4.67 KDA, 19 games with a 58% win rate. Very dangerous, very deadly. Would not be surprised if this gets banned out this game. He is very proficient on this champion, and it is a nightmare to deal with. Nick Zora in the mid lane. Very glad to see Nick Zora will be playing today, and very happy to see him. Akshan and Kiana are his go-tos. Now with a little bit of Ari on the side, 60% win rate, 15 games, and a 3.22 KDA. Very good on this Ari, especially since the visual update can make it feel a little bit better to play her. So, we'll be curious to see if we're going to see either the Kiana or the Akshan getting through. But it's very unlikely that the Kiana is going to get through, and the Lilia is not going to get through either. But he's sitting at gold 167 LP. I believe he is plat in Flex Q as well. Dracarys right now sitting at platinum 432 LP. Loves the Jhin, loves his Caitlyn. Very high win rates, very good play rates too. 3.66 KDA on the Jhin with 46 games, 61% win rate, and 2.25 KDA on the Caitlyn with a 67% win rate. So you do not want to let either of these two 80 carries through. They are his favorites. And then with a small twitch on the side, 8 games, 75% win rate. Kind of his pocket pick, so don't want to actually let any of these through. But one of them's going to make it. They can't, not just going to talk about him out. So we're going to hope for the best. Pendragon right now sitting at silver 188 LP. Loves the Pike. This man is very well known for his Pike. 24 games, 63% win rate, and 3.07 KDA. But also his Swain. He's been something he's been playing a lot in the competitive scene. And has been very good at stealing it away from any of those pesky mid laners who have been trying to spam it. So curious if we're going to see the Pike or if we're going to see the Swain coming up from Pendragon. And then we got the two supports. We got Cass, Platinum 2. Loves the Karma, loves the Lulu. 67% win rate with 12 games on the Lulu. 60% win rate on the Swain with 10 games. So very likely we're going to be seeing some of that action in the bot lane. And then Darkheart is the next sub. Loves the Shaco, the Gangplank, and the Xin Zhao, as well as the Lissandra. Very flexible as so far, and can probably fill in any of these roles. If they do, very good for the SA scene, right? Time for some dethroning. Ooh. Man is out here making making statements. Like, I definitely think Genesis have a shot at this. They almost took down 80k. Would not be surprised if they almost take down these boys, or even take the win here. Let's get Peanut. Let's get the boys in. So let's just take a look at the rosters once again, just to get some more clarification. Royal has been on the throne for long now. I mean, Royalty, like, they don't need much of an introduction, and neither did 80k. These two teams have been up there in terms of South African esports, have been very competitive, and it would definitely be a disappointment for them if they lose a game to this rising Genesis roster, who almost took down the Kings 80k. So Royalty looking to keep their form going, looking to maintain their second spot in the group, where Genesis are going to be looking to try and disappoint, looking to push up in the group stages and possibly make it through to playoffs. Roster 2, we got a sexy picture of Dracarys 17 here. Love to see it. Dracarys decided that he wanted this. This is all at his accord, so if Dracarys sees this, it's his fault. He is the one who wanted this. I was meant to do it for a couple of games in the past, but at the end of the day, it's whatever he wants, he gets, basically. But this is also motivation, please. Can I get photos from Genesis? Please. I just want to make a cool looking roster for you as I'm getting hydrated by my mods again. Okay, that's the first thing he does. He does it every time he joins the chat. So right now, the top 4 teams, we're gonna take a look at them now. So we got ATK in the top, played 8 games, won 8 games, have been smurfing so far, 24 points. And then we got Royalty Esports. Bro, Connor won't fit in a single photo. Man thick. Well, I mean, well, he hasn't showed us anything yet, so there's no proof of this. And then Royalty, second place, 7 games, have won 6 and taken a loss to 1 team. Unsure who that. I believe they lost a game to 5 lonely men here. So that's likely who it is. As then Genesis, well, Royals last time played 8 games, won 5, lost 3, are coming in 3rd place right now, and 4th place is Genesis with 5 games played, 4 wins and 1 loss, only losing to ATK. So hopefully they are looking to keep themselves in this top 4. If they are able to keep this top 4, they will progress into the finals, as they are only going to be, for them, they still got 3 or 4 more games to play. ATK have got 1 more game, Royalty have got 2, and last time have got 1. So very likely we're going to be seeing the last couple of games played relatively soon. But we do believe, I believe the Royalty, retired LCS players, Dark Esports, and their Strong Alarmers had to drop out of the tournament. Do not have any confirmed reasoning on why that happened. But that does mean the 2 top teams from Open Division will progress to the Pro Division. And then it's going to have to be a fight for that 3rd spot between these bottom 3 here. Because I believe that only 2 spots get taken, not 3. Unless the rules have changed since then, but yeah, so we just gotta hope that we get some good League of Legends today. Alright, Beeps are getting into lobby. Darkheart's here, he's gonna be subbing in for us today. As Nick Zora, unfortunately, is Nick Zora going to be playing? Nick Zora is here. We do see Nick Zora. So let's go take a look at the Nick Zora. So see, we got no picture of Nick Zora. I would put a picture of Kiana there, realistically speaking, but can't do much else about it. And I don't know if they're going to be necessarily target banning him. But from what I'm seeing is the toss was won by Genesis. Taking heads, winning the toss. Let's see what side they could possibly take here. So it seems like they do want to take red side. So Darkheart is going to be chilling, is going to be subbing in. I believe he is going to be, so Dracarys is subbing in for Pendragon. And Cass also doesn't look like I was able to play. So people getting in order. I'm just glad they're getting into order. This makes my life so much easier. Alright. So there we go. So that is all in order there. Alright. Alright. We're getting ready now. Getting ready to hop into Champ Select. But everyone seems to be in order, which makes things good. Seems like Gareth Rundmuller is playing... Looks like he's playing mid. And Peanut possibly playing jungle. So maybe they do ban out the Kane here. I'm not sure. Let's hope we get it. It'd be astonishing if the Kane even makes it through. It's Garth, not Garen. Garth. Okay, sorry, it's Garth. Garth Ruan Muller. But should I just call him Garen then? I'm just gonna call him Garen then. This man's baby raging out here because I can't say things. Alright. So, do we think if Peanut is going jungle? Would not be surprised if they just decide to put Peanut in jungle. Alright, as we hop into Champ Select for this best of one between Royalty Esports and between Era Genesis here. Return of Garth Rise? Possibly, maybe, but gonna see the first set of bans coming out. It's curious to see who they're gonna be target banning as the Zac gets taken away from Floppy Pancake here. Don't want him on any of that comfort, don't want any of that hard engage. Don't want to give him anything that he can be a big playmaker on. As the Ashe is going to be taken away from the bot lane. I'm assuming that is the Ashe support ban, but as well, it will hit Vanzor as well. With the Maokai actually being taken away, Maokai just generally overpowered. Not sure if any members of Genesis have played it recently. So, very unlikely we're going to see that as that is going to be the Vi taken away from Garth in the mid. Well, I believe, I'm assuming it's Garth mid. So, I do hope it is. I hope that Garth is going to be jungle rather than Peanut, because now that is a Vi ban for someone who doesn't play as much Vi. But still, nonetheless, pretty good ban. As in form of engage. Don't want that kind of engage happening all the time. As that is going to be the Wukong taken away from top lane and from the jungle. Taken away from Frog Pancake, taken away from single tracks as final bans coming out here. Curious what we're going to see. So let's do /prediction. Alright, we'll do predictions as soon as all is done. But that is going to be the Xayah ban, as I think they're taking that away from Vanzor. Don't want Vanzor on that. But we are going to be seeing some first picks out. What will Royalty be prioritizing this game? What will they be giving comfort to? As counting down to 5. Very, very cutting it very close here. But I believe that is going to be the Varus. So that is going to be Varus for Vanzor in the bot lane. Did play the Vanzor against ATK and had quite a lot of success on it, and actually did take the game off ATK while playing this Varus. But it was the lethality Varus as well. So gotta make sure that you don't prioritize the attack speed reduction, rather just the flat armor. But now we see the first 2 picks coming out for Genesis, as that is going to be the Jhin pickup for Dracarys in the bot lane. And the Lilia pickup for Floppy Pancake. Very unsure on how that was able to get through. So seeing Floppy Pancake on this kind of comfort is really, really good for the side of Genesis. As the Nidalee is hovered for Peanut. Would be very interesting to see this kind of early invade tool coming out from Peanut. But also the Kayn is open. So we're not, as we actually see the Elise getting locked in for Peanut here. And then the Echo being hovered. Is it going to be Garth on the Echo mid, or is it something spicy that we have not seen? Just seen the last couple second hover. Would not be surprised if it just gets locked in, or it gets switched out to possibly a Rise, but no. They will prioritize the Karma in the bot lane. Will not, and also we'll be expecting either an Akshan or a Kiana pick coming out here. So, as both of Nick Zora's champions have been left wide open, maybe they have a good counter for it, maybe they don't. So, curious to see if it's going to be picked up here for Nick Zora. as that is going to be the Nautilus pick coming out for Darkheart. Now, we're going into the second ban phase. Let's see what they're going to prioritize. They do know that is the jungle. That is jungle, AD carry, and the top lane. Now they're just going to be targeting out mid and support here. Don't want Darkside on anything comfortable. Nami is still open, so would not be surprised if that gets banned away by Genesis here. As you see, the Nami does get taken away from Darkside here. Now, with there only being mid lane and top lane bans available, very likely we're going to see a targeted ban to Nixora, and then as the Kiana gets completely taken away, don't want to see Nixora on that, but unfortunately I do believe he has not been playing it too often, but at the end of the day I think it is still pretty scary for him as well. And now we're entering the final two bans, as that is going to be the Morgana taken away from Darkside. Don't want any negation of CC, as the Akshan will be taken away from Nixora, as both Nixora's champion pool has been diminished quite a lot. Two of his main core champions are not available, as the Teemo is now being hovered for single tracks in the top lane. It is likely a meme. I severely doubt there is going to be a Teemo top pick here. Fiora has been left open, Darius has been left open, so that is going to be a Darius coming out for Era single tracks. And then the final picks coming out for Royalty here is going to be their support and their mid lane picks here. They do leave Nixora on the last picks. They do want him on something comfortable, something where he has the winning lane. They did want the counter matchup, as that is going to be the Rakan pickup for Darkside. Rakan considered one of the best supports in the game right now, preceding the buffs to his AP ratios, the buff to Xayah. Well, Xayah Rakan being stronger, but just all around general buffs, Rakan has started making his way up there, and nerfs to a lot of his counters, as that is going to be the Annie hover, likely going to be the Annie mid lane for Garth, as it actually turns out to be the Vex for Garth in the mid lane. Well, actually, we don't know. Like, I don't know if Garth's mid lane or Peanut's mid lane at this point, but I think they're kind of flexible. So that is going to be the Vex mid, a lot pairing with the Elise jungle. A lot of AP on the side of Royalty here, so gonna have to assume that they're gonna be putting in some MR here, as the main AD is gonna be the Renekton and the Varus, with a Syndra lock-in coming in for Nixora, as all the swaps are made very quick, very fast. But it's very interesting that they've all like very much switched, as that is going to be now Peanut has got the Varus, Spooks has got his Renekton, very happy. Rakan is up with Darkside. Garth does have the Elise, and now Peanut does have the Vex, so that is going to be Peanut in the mid lane, and that is going to be Garth in the jungle. So I am going to get the predictions up and running here. Who do we think is going to take this game here? Who do you think is going to take game one? Is it going to be Royalty? Well, who's going to take the game? Is it going to be Royalty, or is it going to be Genesis? Be sure to get your predictions in. Who's Connor won't fit? Who's going to stop me? I mean, Connor, I don't think anyone's going to try to stop you, realistically. So we do have the prediction out. Be sure to back your boys, back Royalty, back Genesis in this best of one. If Genesis win this game, they pretty much secure themselves into the 4th place position and a position in the playoffs this coming week. But if Royalty take them down, they have to be able to beat 5 Lonely Men to stay in the top 4. But let's go take a look at their at the win rates on a bunch of their champions here. So, oh no, I closed the tab. Never mind. So, what are we thinking? What are we thinking team comps here, everybody? Alright, 2K going over to Genesis. Absolute mad things already. But what are we thinking? What kind of team comps are we looking to see here? because I personally think Genesis's team comp has got a lot of pick potential, especially with the Lilia Sleep, the Scatter Week from the Syndra, as well as the Jhin Deadly Flourish. Very easy to get long range picks. But one thing I need to do is learn Lilia abilities. So, alright, let's do this. Alright, cool. So going into these last few ones, we are going to take a look at the 13.3 patch notes real quick. So you're still a flat 2000 to Genesis, favoring them in this game so far. But now we take a look at the stats. We're going to look at this patch notes, see what is buffed, what is nerfed. As we know, there's Aurelion Soul changes. Aurelion Soul had to get a lot of buffs and changes because, well, nerfs, because man was too strong, man was too broken. It's even been banned in the Mettlestate tournament. So very sad we're not seeing that, but hopefully we see it next season. As we see particular buffs to a lot of the melee supports here. Looking at Rakan here, Rakan going to be feeling himself with these buffs. Very happy about them. I really should actually just implement this into the stream overall. I think that's the plan. Alright. But then we also see system changes Radiant Virtue, Tenacity, and Umbral Glaive here, as Radiant Virtue no longer gives the cooldown reduction stacking. Overheal is a lot more valuable if you are looking to build health. But all in all, looks like Genesis are going to be winning the points here. 2,000 to them. And then Annie, Amumi, Cassidy, and Cassante getting hit with a nerf hammer. Very glad about that. Champion's a bit broken. But we are going to now head into game one. To the only game between these two teams now. As we load in. We are going to see some 6 skins. So we see Spirit Blossom Lilia. We get Withered Rose Syndra. Spirit Blossom Darius. So the top lane jungle synergy looking to be clutch. Project Jhin for Dracarys, but Dark Heart. Unfortunately, no skin. No skin available. It's Dark Heart. But then we've got Dark Side on Rakan, the Star Guardian Rakan. We've got Arclight Varus for Vanzor. We have got... never mind. We are in game now. Time controls. Alright, cool. We are now into game in this best of 1 series between Era Genesis and Royalty Esports. Royalty being on the blue side and red side being Genesis here. It doesn't look like there's going to be any sneaky invades there, but they are going to just hold the buffs, hold the line. Don't want anything spooky, anything scary. No visions coming out,
30 seconds
but
until
both
minions
junglers
spawn.
just gonna be chilling. Need to make sure they're in order, so both junglers just chilling. Just watching each other's camps as Elise drops the spider. Nothing happens, but that is going to be a ward pickup. So Lilia is going to be starting on the blue side here. With as Nolus and Jhin are just holding the line. Varus picked up the cleanse as well as the Jhin. Both opting for the cleanse. He has a lot of crowd control. So Varus picking up the cleanse for the Lilia Sleep. Picking up it for the Deadly Flourish. So definitely don't want to be caught out by this Lilia. But the cleanse for Vanzor is to deny the scatter. The cleanse for Dracarys is to deny the Elise Cocoon. Also the Vex Fear, Varus Ultimate, as well as the Rakan Charm. Now that is going to be a red start for Garth. And that is going to be a blue start for Floppy Pancake here. It's going to be a bit of a hard leash. But Elise is going straight to her red buff, straight to her blue buff. Gonna double buff and look to gank early. While Lilia looking to get that full clear down. And then we take a look at the mid lane. Xora and Peanut just duking it out, going for those early trades. Vanzor and Dracarys also going up with heavy trades. Q does land onto Varus there. Good damage. As the trade does go into the favor of Genesis. Single Tracks is level 2 here. And we'll go for some aggressive trades onto now, but we pick Jin. Okay, Jin does land the root onto Darkside here. Darkside goes for the W, but does get dodged. Cleanse coming out from Vanzo. Vanzo does not have cleanse available. Norless will have the dredge line up soon, but a lot of trade damage coming out onto Darkheart. Is going to have to back off. But we see Garth did opt for the full engage on top lane. Ghost coming out for the Darius. The Cocoon landing. Single tracks landing the Q, does land the flash, but Float Pancake is there to try and save the day. As Single Tracks does make it out. Garth taking a lot of damage, but Lilia is also cutting this out. Darius doing a lot of damage as that is first blood for Single Tracks. Looks like it is just going to be extremely difficult as there's going to be a 1-for-1 trade between L Spooks and Single Tracks. Lilia goes for the Q, does go for the W, and does take down L Spooks, putting it 2-1 in favor of Genesis here. As Vanzo has to burn the flash just to survive. But that is 1 kill for the Renekton, and that is 2 kills going shared between the Darius and the Lilia. Excellent rotations, but really good call coming out from Connor there on this Darius. Flash Q gets the heal off, is able to get out with his life, so Connor definitely out here smurfing. So we got Lilia. I got Garth in the bot lane. Is going to be looking for clear the rest of his jungle while Lilia picks up that top side scuttle. Now bot side scuttle is still available, but it does not look like Lilia is going to go for it. It's just going to continue for the rest of the clear. Get the Krugs, while Renekton going to be walking over some vision there. So if we take a look at the Renekton, is going to be walking over some vision. Does get spotted out. And does drop some vision too. But now, looking at the red side, their map is very dark, where blue side, they seem to have a lot of control of where the Lilia is going to be top side. A lot of control within the bush. Q does land onto Vanzor here, but Dracarys does have the flash, does have the cleanse cocoon, does go wide. Dracarys having to burn the flash, as there was no vision available. Did not see it in time. Alright, so that is just all vision in general, but that is very low AD carry, very low support. Man's best top era IMO. Not a very hot take, might be best top SA scene. I mean, looking good. It's been looking good in this SA scene right now. I do believe he is an international player, but he's definitely been considered one of the best top laners, as Robbie Pancake makes his way just to clear out the wave, just to pick up some levels. Nixora stacking up this wave quite a bit, looking to push in this Vex. And looking for some aggressive trades here. Really good trades coming out from Nixora onto this Vex. As the final set of points do come out. As there's 4.2k onto Royalty and 2k onto the Genesis side. So, got a lot of points for anyone who favors Genesis. But we do see Darius is going to be looking to get some wards down. Going to try and track down Garth. The snack by Papa Smurfy though, so IDK. Alright, so we got some top lane debates here. But we do nothing too interesting coming out. Floppy Pancake is just going to be clearing out the Raptors. At least about to go up to level 5, where Lilia is halfway to level 6 already. As they are going to be pathing top side. At least is top, and I think Lilia and Darius are aware of it. So are going to play it slow and play it steady. As Darius goes into the Q, does not land the Q. Float Pancake is there. Seriously, does land the E. Renekton does not have the flash. Ghost does come out. The slow lands. A lot of damage, as that is a Single Tracks getting the Noxian Guillotine. And that is already a Garth who is going to be running for his life. Does not want to deal with a Darius with ulti stacks or Ghost available. So that is 3-1 in favor of Genesis right now. And Garth is also going to be falling desperately far behind in the jungle right now. Sitting at level 4 with Flood Pancake sitting at level 6. Varus also is getting ever closer to that level 5. Will mean that level 6. Halfway to level 6. Rakan is halfway to level 5. Ulti is still not to be feared yet. Rakan does land the W. But the red line does land on the Vanzo. Van does drop the exhaust. The cleanse coming out. Cleanse coming out again from Dracarys. Just try and cleanse the ignite, but Rakan will get the last hit, as that is going to be the first kill in the bot lane. Now, a lot of summoners did have to be burned. Their Rakan did burn the Flash. Ignite cleansed it. Vanzo did burn the cleanse. And cleanse burned by Dracarys. Exhaust burned by Darkheart. So a lot of summoners burned. But Jin. So Vanzo is just going to push this wave out. Going to be pretty comfortable with pushing it out. Because he knows the Elise is bot. Lilia is top lane. Is fighting Elspooks. Elspooks doesn't have anywhere to go. Elspooks does dodge the Lilia Q there and is in a very, very dark position. But that is just going to be the dragon pickup for Royalty here. They are going to get the first dragon, which is a Cloud Dragon. But then also we got to bear in mind that it is also going to be the Rift Herald pickup for Flood Pancake. Just trading out the objectives here. Question is, can single tracks be more valuable than the Jin pick is useless? Monka, It's fine, we're playing topside 5-head. Yeah, I think. So Garth does land a combo onto the Jin. Flash Scatter the Weak coming out for Nixora here. Not able to land anything, but there is a sleep landing onto Renekton. Renekton has gone sleepy time. Does have the E over the wall, but Lilia landing the slows once again. Is going to look for the full commit. Does go, they'll get the flash Q, but the Renekton also does burn the flash. Lilia, there's a lot of fights happening everywhere, as Lilia does look like she's going to try and get the kill here on this Renekton, but takes a lot of damage. So actually flopping will fall to Elspooks, as Garth and Darkseid are going to be stealing away this blue buff, while Dracarys and Darkheart have to sit back and watch. Varus ulti does come out, and does get the kill onto Dracarys there. A lot of damage on this Varus. But now Darkheart is in a very dangerous spot here. That is 3 members. He is very low, does not have the ulti, does not have the aftershock, and that is going to be a very easy dive. Oh, and obviously that's what Floppy does. Floppy just throws for the content. It's what he's capable of. But we do see he does have the full demonic embrace. Very good item for this Lilia, compared to just the measly Hextech alternator for the Elise. But now gold is still even, about 200 gold separating these two teams. Darius is still in a very commanding spot, while Garth is just trying to clear as much of his jungle as possible. But Lilia gonna be farming it up. Peanut looking very calm, very chill here. Not facing too much threat against Nixora. But they need to be very careful of this Varus. Varus is gonna be doing a lot of damage in the spot lane. The poke is gonna be rather deadly. Vex the 30 Varus seems like a nightmare to play against as an ADC. Oh yes, easily. I think it's just too much crowd. It's just too much like poke, too much really difficult crowd control. As Garth and Vex does go for the ulti under tower, does land the full fear, but that's going to flash away, and there's going to be a sort of kill for Royal Peanut as they do try and chase down Darkheart. Darkheart will fall to the Rakan. Death Flourish landing, but unfortunately no damage coming out. Lilia dropping the Rift Herald in the top lane. Renekton going for the dash, is going for the full commit onto this Lilia. Darius is making his way down. The Lilia can't walk up, but Chris is in a difficult situation here. Vanzo does get the poke, does get the, but at least tanking the tower. And there's a very well executed dive coming out from Royalty, taking out Dracarys once again. So Vanzo very, very low, sitting at what is basically negative HP. So if we take a look, he was sitting at about 40 HP after taking the potion. But Darius will likely try and pick up this tower very quickly, but Renekton is just going to be a bit of a pest there. Gonna deny him that tower as it does land the W, does get the Q. 4 stacks, 5 stacks. Darius ulti will just tick over with the burn, and then a little bit of BM coming from single tracks, but does take down this Renekton. As now Garth is in the top lane looking to try and deal with this Darius, but this Darius has been becoming an absolute nightmare for Renekton to deal with right now. Now Vex does have the level lead onto the Elise, so we'll be able to prioritize all of that. The gold is picked up from the tower plating for Nixora here. Does just kind of give them about 1,000 gold lead. As bot lane looking not looking too hot for Genesis right now. So they are going to look like they're going to play through top side and even play through mid-side scaling. So Darkheart needs to be very careful, as that is a level 9 Nixora to a level 10 Peanut. Peanut will do a lot of damage. Darius has now also made his way bot. Likely going to get bot lane, rotate top side just to get as much of the wave pressure as possible. But Single Tracks looking to assert his dominance, looking to push his lead, and looking to make plays everywhere else. As Darkside gonna be very careful here, but Single Tracks just getting hit, poked out by this Varus very easily. And that's that Royalty picked Renekton at least to shut down top. I assume he's 3-1 with first turret. That is doing really, really well. As you see, the Varus does drop the Youmu's here. Ulti gets sidestep from Floodpoint. Floodpoint does drop the sleep, but there will be no cleanse. As does go for the Q. Rakan dropping the ultimate as well. Floodpoint getting just really large amount of damage, does walk out alive. This is a massive team by Darius getting 3-man with the Q, but at least will shut down the Darius. Renekton using the ultimate, using the dominance to get onto that backline. Varus getting a lot of poke. Lilia running for her life here. Does sidestep Peanut here. And will walk out of the E. Will have to side. Will he be able to dodge the Q? It is just unfortunately not going to happen. As that is going to be 11 kills now for the side of Royalty and 4 to Genesis as they build a 1,000 gold lead and pick up their second dragon of the game. A little bit of a dangerous throw coming out there as the Syndra is still yet to pick up an item. Not nearly as strong as this Vex in terms of hard engage. Not the level 11 just yet. But Peanut does want this tower. Will grief for it. As Elspooks very happy to pick up some free tower hits there, but will not get too much extra gold. Gotta love it. Genesis throwing a bit of their lead, unfortunately, right now. This Varus is very scary, very hard to deal with. This Vex now and Syndra both pick up their Luden's Tempests. The Night Harvester coming out for the Elise. So a lot of core items being picked up from both sides. But I do think it is Genesis's game to win here. They do have the underdog status. They are the team that have been performing the best so far in this split, despite not being able to take down ATK, who were just out of this world on form. Genesis have been really putting in the work to get to where they are now. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a little bit of calm silence as Darkheart and Drakari is just gonna hold the bot lane. Drakari still yet to pick up that first item. Likely gonna be picking up that Gale Force. Rakan also does not have the first item just yet, but that is just generally just how support gold works. But now Nixora taking a lot of poke. Youmu's does come out from Banzor. Was looking to try and see if he can land the ulti. Nixora as does land the Q as well. But Nixora is a lot of danger here. That is going to be a 4-man dive. Does have to burn the flash. Scatter the Weak does land, does evade it. Bit of a misplay coming out here. Elspooks is tanking tower. Notice ulti lands. Elspooks having to burn the flash, but does fall. The Herald also getting dropped, but excellently executed from Nixora, dodging the dive. And the tower getting saved. Varus Q coming out, doing a lot of damage to this Jhin. Taking a lot of poke. As gold still evening out for both sides. As it's only about 700 gold separating the two teams. And I think it's still anybody's game right now. Especially with the kind of pick potential that both these teams have. If a good Lilia sleep lands. Lilia does have the sleep available. Did land it on Banzor, but will not commit as they know his cleanse is about to come up. Does have the flash available as well. So there'll be no further engage coming out from the Lilia here. We see Darius is going to be asserting his dominance up here. Like, despite the dominance being the Renekton ultimate, I think is very... As the ulti does land onto the... onto Lockout. Lockout having to burn the flash. Rakan does drop the ultimate as well. The quickness going to be doing that extra bit of lockdown. Solidifying the kill there. Vex does drop the second part of the ulti onto the Lilia. Will he take the reset? Will take the reset there. As Lilia does land the Q, taking a lot of damage. Rakan jumping over the wall, not able to land the W. But Darius did burn the Ghost. Does land the Q, looks for the E, does hit Peanut. Peanut having to flash. The W being, the Deadly Frost being tanked by Darkseid here. As that is just going to be a favorable kill for Royalty here. As now Grass is going to be farming things up, has evened out in terms of XP. About the same amount of experience as the Lilia. As both look to complete their full jungle items. As now Lilia said it could be seeing a lot of gold. We're not seeing the 1,600 gold. Darius saying on the 1,600 as well. The gold lead is very much on this Varus here, but Darius also holding about 1,300 gold lead over this Renekton. Syndra picking up a small gold lead on this Vex despite having a bit of a gold, despite having a kill deficit, probably because of the first strike and the extra CS. So, we got a bit of a pause. Darkheart does get caught out here. Garth and Darkseid look for him, but he will walk away carefree. Renekton tanking a lot of the Syndra's poke as she just gets that first strike goal, getting that extra CS sitting in that side lane. As that is going to be the level up ability. Game is just a Jhin diff right now. I do think that is a Jhin diff, unfortunately. I mean, Banzor does have 2 eyes on this Varus, does land the full ultimate. And that is just a dead Norlis as the Varus ulti comes out, takes him down. Elsfuse goes for this hard engage, tanks a tower shot. And Lilia will come in just to clean up, and that will be a free kill for him. But that is going to be the dragon started up for Garth and Darkseid in the bot side. Now, we do see these 280 carries duking it out, but Jhin only has the Gale Force, and Banzor does have the full Eclipse and the Yomu's. As Garth is going to say there. Lilia looking for a possible engage onto this Varus here. A single track. Caught between a rock and a hard place. He does come out, does go wide from the Lilia, does not land on the intended target. That is going to be the quickness coming out for Darkseid, but that is Peanut getting the one shot onto Dracarys there. Pancake is going to have to run for his life here. As Vex does take the ultimate, the Khan does go for the W, does not land. The E does land onto Banzor here, but does not look like they are going to commit to anything for it now. As 2,000 gold lead in favor of Banzor. Well, I'm going to say Banzor because he's the one with the gold lead. 8,000 gold lead for him, but that does put him about 2,700 gold ahead of Dracarys here. With the gold lead in the mid lane still being relatively even, gold lead difference in the jungle being relatively even, and top lane still very dominant, about 1,000 gold still for this Darius. As they're still going to look to play through mid and top here, as their priority is to take down this Varus. As Varus is going to be doing a lot of damage, but Floyd Pancake does get spot on a control ward here, so Vex will not walk up, will not continue to chase. Now we see Banzor's here, but Darkseid getting some early vision. And as we just take a quick look at the vision graph, so a lot of vision for blue side in the top red jungle, where for red side all day it's completely dark. Other than some 2 wards down here in the bot side of the map here and here. Very unlikely they're going to be able to do too much with that vision. The control ward being cleared out as single tracks, giving his team on vision on Baron once more. As now Floyd Pancake is going to be spot on this ward. They do know that Floyd Pancake is doing this, and they do see him. But Floyd Pancake does not know where they're coming from, as Darkseid looking for vision. Does drop the control ward onto the Baron once again. As now Garth looks for the cocoon, does land the cocoon onto the Norlis. It does get hit by the W exhaust coming out onto Darkseid. Darkseid will burn the quickness. Locket coming out for Darkheart and will save his life. A lot of crucial ultimates burned there, as that is no Rakan ultimate and no Vex ultimate in the next team fight, as Darkheart will fall to Banzor. Single tracks taking a lot of poke from Peanut, taking a lot of poke from the Varus too. Welcome, Mr. Grum. As we see, Royalty are going to be looking to start up this Baron here. They have got all the pressure in the world. The mid lane tower is still up, bot lane tower is still up. As it is going to be relatively free. Lilia is looking for the steal. Lilia does have the flash. They do have vision. The control ward is blocking out, but it does look like it's not going to be a steal, as Spooks is just going to stop them from trying to get over the pit. Varus does get the ulti over the wall. Will shut down Floppy Pancake, and that will be Baron for Royalty.
Unstoppable.
Now Vanzor 505 on this Varus. Unstoppable right now, Varus. They see the Garth does make it out barely. Gale Force just not doing enough, as Darkheart tanking a lot of damage here and will fall to Dark Side. Seeing 307 on this Rakan, 506 on this Varus, 402 on this Vex. The curtain call is open. Dark Side taking a lot of damage, but will walk out relatively carefree as Jin just tries to get those last minute ultimates down. We're giving every objective, them fighting when the objective dies, oof.
Red team's turret has been
Yeah, I mean the game, it was looking close in the beginning. Right now it is a 6,000 gold lead for Royalty. Dead Getter from that Baron have got the 3 dragons. Varus now sitting at 3 items. Very, very scary. Jin only at the 1.5 items. Still only has the BF sword.
Shall transcend.
So it does seem like Royalty are going to throw their wallets at this point in the game. They have a very significant gold lead. Carries have got the items that they need. Varus sitting on 3 items. Very easy to just poke out the side of Genesis. But now Single Tracks does spot out Dark Side. Walks in, but Varus also landing a lot of poke. That is a lot of damage coming out onto Nick Zora here. As Dark Side looking for the engage they do not have the vision. As the Rakan is there, does get spotted. The quickness coming out does land onto Dracarys, but Dracarys having to kite it out. Sarah Single Track is fighting McGrath. McGrath does get the ult, does get a shutdown onto the Elise. This is a Darius with full stacks. Q does land, does have to burn the flash as well. Darius is looking to get that Q down, but will not be able to. Peanut getting a shutdown, getting a double kill. Dracarys having to burn the flash, but there will be a triple kill for Peanut here. Floppy Pancake is desperately trying to take people down here. Will be able to take down Peanut, as that is now a TP coming in for Renekton. That is a full health Renekton. That is a Lilia with ultimate. So it does look a bit pear-shaped coming out for Lilia. Lilia having to run for her life, but will likely fall here. Not be able to take anyone down with her, as now Darkseid is on a rampage on this Rakan. So I do think that kind of works. That was a fairly worth, I would say, for Genesis. They got a lot of the shutdowns that they needed. They got able to take down this Vex and able to take down the Varus. But at the same time, gold lead is still setting 5,000 in favor of Royalty. So gonna have to make sure they make the plays here. They're gonna have to try and prevent this dragon from happening, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, as Garth will be relatively easily take this with the help of Spooks and Vanzor. They are not going to contest it. The jungler is not up, and that will be Mountain Soul for Royalty here. Vanzor does pop the ulti, does land it onto Darkheart here. Exhaust coming out onto Vanzor. Rakan dropping the W, Renekton dropping the stun. Dredgeline just not enough to get him out. And that will be another kill going for this Varus. So it's some big items coming out. We see the Vex does have the full Ravadons. We see that is a full Prowler Skull walk for the Renekton. And then Jin getting tower dive here. This Elite is too strong. Vex burning the ulti. And that will be a dead Jin right now. Rakan dropping the quickness. Renekton dropping the dominance. Nick Zora does get taken down by Vanzo. 8-1 now on this Varus.
Red team's turret.
Flowman getting feared here. Taking a lot of damage. You see, Spooks does hop over the wall, does not have the Prowler Claw available. But Single Tracks could be looking for an E engage here, as Rakan does land the W, does land the stun onto Darkheart, and Darkheart will fall to Vanzor. That is rather sad, as now Vanzor is just absolutely eating through this bot lane. Now with Darius and Lilia being the main forms of damage for Genesis right now. Even with the small, even 900 gold lead for Vex over the Syndra. Syndra's still in a pretty good spot. Lilia still has a gold lead. Darius still has a gold lead. So, gotta be playing around this jungle, gotta be playing around this top side if they are going to be looking to make the plays. If they're going to be looking to come back in this game. This Vex is desperately trying to yoink this red buff. And we'll be able to get it relatively carefree. We'll use the blast cone just to get over. But Lilia will spot a control ward. Will not spot Garth or Peanut here. As we take a look at the vision here, they are pretty much blind. All they see is the Renekton. But now we see rotations. They're actually going to be coming in from behind. They don't see this coming. Oh, Nautilus just spotted this behind. Spook taking a lot of damage here, but that will be a shutdown going to Lilia. But that will be a hard engage from Darkheart onto... And Darkheart will fall as that is a double kill top lane as Darius shuts down this Varus. As those are two main damage carries gone. As now all that's left is the Vex and the Elise to deal with. Floppy Pancake desperately low. Doesn't have the flash. Darius does have the Noxian Guillotine available. But that is a dead Varus and that is a dead Renekton. So that is in favor of Genesis. As they're trying to bring this gold lead down. Still only just under 5,000. And Royalty want to start up this Baron. As Single Tracks looks to try and see if he can walk. It does walk headfirst into a lot of people. Does land the Q. Nick Zora does land the Scatter the Weak. Darius does live. A shutdown coming out for Nick Zora onto this Vex. That is a big shutdown for him. As now as the Elise still on a killing spree. But we do see TPs coming for Royalty. As Lilia is going to be looking for the engage, looking for the sleep. Does not actually have the ulti available. A good vision coming out from blue side. A good vision coming from red side too. So we take a look at let's go take a look here. So this is what red side see. They have a very, very scary jungle to walk into. Not a lot of vision for them. Where Royalty do have all the vision. Will be picking up this drag Baron relatively carefree. Lilia does drop the E. Does not get it over the wall, and unfortunately that will be blue team taking up Baron once again. Spook's coming over the wall with the dominance. Dredgeline does land, but that is Darkheart taking a lot of damage. Deadly Flourish does come out. The quickness coming out, flashing onto Floppy Pancake here. Darkheart does fall. The Floppy Pancake is rather tanky, so will not get taken down by the Rakan. We do see the E does land onto the Rakan. Rakan does have flash, does have cleanse available for the Lilia sleep. But Danzor very comfortable right now. Just sits behind his team. A lot of good poke coming out. So we see Flow Pancake desperately trying to see if he can get some movement speed up. The slows coming out. Anti-heal coming out. Does go for the flash Q. Lands the double sleep onto the Elise and onto the Rakan. Single Tracks is in the back line. Dark side will get shut down by the Jhin. Darius will take down Elise. Renekton desperately trying to survive here. Varus having to burn the cleanse, but that is going to be GA blown for this Renekton. But Vex is just in the bot lane, just pushing. That is kills in favor of Genesis. They do bring down the gold lead once again, but that is just, they lose an inhib for it. And it's just, they're gonna just have to make these trades. And with Elder coming up, this does decide the game. If Genesis are able to take this Elder and are able to get a push down, could be very, very good for them. And now Banzo able to yoink away this blue buff relatively carefree. Got a lot of poke, got a lot of ways to keep himself safe. Got the anti-heal as well, especially for this Lily. As the Vex ult does come out onto Darkheart, Darkheart will fall to Banzo here. Lily ult does go wide. The Vex ult does go wide. As Jhin desperately dropping these traps down, desperately looking for some engage. Renekton is spotted, is caught out, will walk into the midway. Vex does just drop a little bit of an E there. The Floppy Pancake, not afraid to walk up, is quite a tanky Lilia. As now Renekton is going to look for that mid inhibitor carries is not going to be able to deal much with this Renekton. Does have the Prowler's Claw available. So that will be just a relatively easy in-air pickup as Spooks just keeps going. Jin dropping the ulti, just doing absolutely no damage to this Spooks. Deadly Frog does commit, and now Renekton is tanking tower. Dominus comes out, but now they are going to be desperately fighting for the dragon. Single track does get hit by the Varus ulti. Lilia desperately trying to get the Qs down. Single track does get his more Modius proc, does land the Q. Lilia is in the middle of 5 people, does land the sleep onto 3. Big AoE coming from Lilia, but that is unfortunately not going to be enough as Nixora will take down Varus, but that is still 3 members of royalty available as they are going to be picking out the Elder here. And they're going to be losing turrets left, right, and center in this base. So as we look in the base of, oh gosh, as we look at in the base of this Jin right now, they do lose it. They do lose a Nexus tower, and are desperately trying to hold on as long as possible. But it's just looking like it's just not going to be enough. They do have Elder on the 2 of the 3 damage dealers. Renekton and Vanzor did not get it. But that Elise and this Vex will be very scary now. And they need to be very careful if this Vex ulti comes flying out of nowhere. With the gold lead sitting at about 7,000 now in favoring of royalty. And with very few objectives up at the moment, with Baron only up in 2 minutes, it is just a bit of free time for Genesis just to pick up some farm, pick up some gold, get this Jin some items. Jin does have 3 items now. Very, very capable, as we see actually the Chemtech, the Chainsword coming out for Varus. Very interesting as Varus does have anti-heal on his E. So, not sure if that itemization was entirely necessary. But then we do see the Lilia also opting for the Force of Nature, is building into that Frozen Heart. Force of Nature and Momo Mortius coming out for this Renekton to deal with this Vex, to deal with this Elise. As Drench Line does go wide. Floppy taking out a poke from this Varus. And now all 3 sides are just being pushed in. Top lane being the only lane without the supers. So that is what Royalty are going to just trying to push in. They are going to get that relatively carefree. As Renekton will be pushing in the top side. But that is going to be just Royalty closing in on Genesis, closing in on their base. Only 1 Nexus tower stands between them and the end of the game. What is going to happen here? It is going to be the final 5v5 of this game. Who will take a Rakan? The ulti Raise line does get landed onto the Rakan. Rakan does get hit by the Q. Darius does try and desperate on land, not to get it. He does shut down the Elise. But that is going to be Lilia falling to Vanzor here. Darius desperately trying to get into that backline, but the Elder Dragon is doing just too much. This Vex able to proc it relatively easily as Peanut will take down Dracarys. Only people standing are Darkheart and Nixora. And that is going to be the last few kills coming out, the last fight coming out from Genesis. But Royalty are just going to look to try and take them down. Not going to be in the Nexus, as that is going to be GG's to Royalty. So now with this game, with it being a best of 1, that is going to be Royalty moving up in the ladder. Now Genesis will need to try and take a game off of 5 Lonely Men in order to remain in this top 4, in order to remain competitive, and in order to possibly push through into the playoffs. But that does mean predictions will be coming out now. So those are the boys, so we will be choosing. So it will be Royalty. They will be taking the W here. But unfortunately, that mission fail will get him next time. Yes, and I do think this Genesis roster are very capable of winning against some of these top tier teams. Do have the synergy for it. I just think, unfortunately, Royalty came out on top. They played their macro exceptionally well. There's Varus and there's Rakan being exceedingly dominant in this bot lane. And just made it very, very hard for Dracarys and Darkheart to do anything in that lane. With the Elise being a bit behind in the early game, and Lilia having a bit of the dominance phase, but at the end of the game, Elise was able to get the picks onto the necessary carries, as well as the Vex landing the ultimate onto the necessary carries, catching them off guard and setting up for success for the rest of the team. But from me at the caster's desk, I wish you all the best the rest of your evening. There will be other games tonight. They will not unfortunately be streamed, as me and my team Kronos will be playing tonight at 8 o'clock against Elements of Time. So we'll be seeing that. But from me, from all the players, well played to everybody. It was GG's. I will see you all in the next one.
Yeah. I wake up every morning with my head up in a daze. I'm not sure if I should say this, fuck, I'll say it anyway. Everybody tries to tell me that I'm going through a phase. I don't know if it's a phase, I just wanna feel okay, yeah. I battle with depression, but the question still remains. Is this post-traumatic stressing, or am I suppressing rage? And my doctor tries to tell me that I'm going through a phase. Yeah, it's not a fucking phase, I just wanna feel okay. Okay, yeah, I struggle with this bullshit every day, and it's probably cause my demons simultaneously rage. It obliterates me, the sentence overwrites me. I'm about to break down, searching for a way out. I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm a non-believer. I'm a popular monster. Break down, falling into love, now we're falling apart. I'm a popular monster. I think I'm going nowhere like a rat trapped in a maze. Every wall that I knock down is just a wall that I replace. I'm in a race against myself, I try to keep a steady pace. How the fuck will I escape if I never close my case? Oh my god, I keep on stressing. Every second that I waste is another second sooner to a blessing I won't take. But my therapist will tell me that I'm going through a stage. Yeah, it's not a fucking stage, I just wanna feel okay. Okay, motherfucker, now you got my attention. I need to change a couple